On Capitol Hill tonight, Republicans are desperately working to find $2 trillion in spending cuts, potentially on the chopping block, hundreds of billions in funding for Medicaid.
The program covers 80 million low-income Americans. That's about 20% of the nation's population. If that amount of funding disappears, families everywhere, especially in Washington, could be at risk of losing their coverage. Jordan Smith joins us in studio tonight to show us what's at stake.
Yeah, well, according to Washington State Healthcare Authority, 1.8 million Washingtonians are on Medicaid. That's seniors, that's children, that's people with disabilities who rely on this program. And then across the 10 counties in Washington's 5th congressional district, 54% of the children under 19 are on Medicaid. In central Washington, that number jumps to 70%. Lynn Kimball's career is rooted in helping people. She connects elderly and disabled Washingtonians to at-home long-term care options. It's one of the many programs that's watching Congress's next steps very closely.
With those level of cuts, it really would be in jeopardy.
That's because, like countless others, the bulk of her funding comes from Medicaid. 64% to be exact.
We're really concerned.
Senator Maria Cantwell says $880 billion in Medicaid funding is at stake over the next 10 years. Medicaid has been under fire for years now. Republicans arguing it's a broken system and have cited wasteful spending within it.
And we're creating an environment in which we're bankrupting the country when over a third of what we're doing is health care spending.
And there are numbers to support wasteful spending, but it's not bankrupting America. Washington State Auditor Pat McCarthy released a report that found Washington wastes $8.6 million per year on unnecessary premiums for people who live in other states, saying some Oregon enrollees regularly visited providers in both Oregon and Washington, making it challenging to tell which state should pay for their coverage. McCarthy said Medicaid needs better nationwide solutions. But slashing $880 billion over 10 years to make way for tax cuts without a backup plan in place would have devastating impacts on some of the most vulnerable Americans.
I would say if you have coverage now, use the coverage while you have it.
And right now, no decision has been made at this point. Democrats are fiercely fighting to protect Medicaid from being potentially cut. We did reach out to Michael Baumgartner, who represents the 5th District of Eastern Washington here, for a comment about this, and he did not get back to us in time for the news. In studio tonight, Jordan Smith, 4 News Now.